Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Bobbin and you are watching episode 10 of my Factorio CBOC playthrough. The research that I had queued before has finished now. Let's take a look at what research to do next. One of the things I did do, by the way, is I went ahead and added a second lab. These machines are faster, and with that going on, I really can run two labs, and I had the materials, so why not? Okay. The research that we finished was actually Architecture 1, which is part of Factorissimo. We also finished the fluid connections, which is also Factorissimo. And we finished the interior lighting, which required that we do optics along the way. So we've made some good progress on that. The next projects I want to work on they're still all red. I'm not quite going to do the green ones yet, but there are some red ones that are really needed to continue progression here. By red, I mean just red science packs, sacrificial electromagnets. And those are metallurgy. We need the blast furnace. We particularly need the blast furnace right now, but we're probably going to go to casting pretty soon, so we'll want the induction furnace and the casting machine as well. The chemical furnace I'm not anticipating needing for a while, but it will be nice to have it out of the way. The next one after that is going to be washing 2. I'm having to look at my list over here. That's this one. It's going to get us, it'll allow us to upgrade this building, which we might upgrade the washing plants. I don't know that that's critical. We're not going to do it just immediately. And it'll let us wash for geodes. Geodes are going to be important later on. They're not important now. But limestone is what we want. And we need limestone so that we can make bricks. That is, converting this limestone into lime in order as a component for the bricks is one of the reasons we need metallurgy right now. The other one I want to get is I want to get garden processing. Garden processing opens up, is garden processing the one we want? Let me double check that, because the one that we want may not be that one. Now, Tree Arboretum 2 is one that we might need at some point, but I don't think so. Let's look at Tree Arboretum 1. This will get us the tree seed and the raw wood. So we're fine on that. The machine we actually need is called a composter. And we need it before we can use trees for wood. I want to use trees to get wood to make wood pellets, and so I want the research for that. But I'm not 100% sure which one it is. We've got to have a composter in order to make the materials, and I'm pretty sure we can't make that yet. And it's because we're missing a technology. And I don't see which one it is. Let me take a look at that. Just go into S1E10 here and compost. There's the machine anyway. It comes from farming. So farming is the one we need. Is that one that's available to us? Yes, it is. It's right there. Okay, so let's get metallurgy, washing 2. Thought it was on here somewhere. I don't see it on that list. Oh, it's not going to show up until we go to the green science. So let's go ahead and get farming. That will require garden processing first, it looks like. And then we'll pick up the green science packs here. And that's not the green. That's the other green. This green, that's also not the green. There we go, I think. Washing on here. Where is it? Man, so much trouble with this. Well, anyway, washing's going to be on the agenda. I will put it on there probably between episodes. So we got to move on because I got a lot planned today. First of all, this is sort of going to be a construction episode. The early construction is we're going to be patching some stuff up. One of the things that's been bothering me a little bit, well, there are a couple of things. I did expand my production here on fuel, so we now have 12 of the algae farms going. And when I did that, I went ahead and I doubled this conversion process. I'm noticing this is not very efficient in terms of ratios on machines. I don't really care all that much as long as it works. This is not something that has to be perfect. We could definitely, though, use more furnaces to get it to run a little bit faster. It's not a big deal. But one of the problems here is that these algae farms, when I installed this, it soaked up a lot of the materials that were backed up on this line, and it hasn't caught up yet. And one reason it hasn't caught up is because some of the machines are idle. I mean, these bottom two are running now, but the top two are not. The reason for that is we're not getting enough mineralized water flowing in. And so that's one of the things I need to fix. The other one is I've got some furnaces up top. I'm having to run up top manually to fuel them. I want to stop doing that. I would really, really like to just have that sort of go automatically. So let me make some belts here and we'll run up there. We'll do that first. So we've got these belts up here. We really need to go up to about, I think, here with them. I did move this algae farm that was here. I've got tons and tons of this stuff for now. It'll last for a while. Okay, so we're sending fuel up here. Let's go ahead, and this should be pretty simple to load into these automatically. I'm just going to use some splitters, some undergrounds, and some loaders. We'll put a loader here, 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 and a splitter there, 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 and underground here, here, and here. And that should start loading fuel into all of them, as it'll load basically 200 fuel into all of them. So we're going to be good on that for a while. We've been getting lots of metals. A lot of them have the production kind of backed up. It looks like iron is the only thing we're producing right now. I need to start doing something with these metals automatically, and I just don't have the automation in place yet for it. One of the reasons I don't have the automation in place is I know where I want to put things in space, and I haven't quite filled out the land and built the things yet that I'm going to need. But that's slightly a different project. Let's go and look at this right here. This is where mineralized water is being produced to top off the bus so that we're full on mineralized water. And the problem we're having right here is that this machine, this liquidizer or liquefier, is just not getting crushed stone fast enough because this crusher can't crush fast enough to keep up with the demand. So what I need to do, let me get some electrical poles up here and make sure that I don't cut off power up here. Looks like we finished a research. We finished Metallurgy 1. Let me go ahead and remove these power poles, and I've got another crusher, I think, yeah, right here. I'm going to put another crusher in right, I'm kind of squeezing it in. I'm going to put it right here, I think. Yeah, we'll put it there, and if that doesn't work, we'll move it. But I think that will work just fine. You know, I'm actually already changing my mind. I'm going to put it right there. And the reason is because I'm going to keep them kind of even over here. So I need to put that there, and we'll push that out like that. Now, I'm going to have to get materials over there. That isn't going to be a problem, but let me move this one first. So we'll move it up there. Now, both of these are making crushed stone. And I'm going to remove that loader and put in a splitter instead. Is that going to work? I think it will be fine. That'll probably look a little better because it'll be separated a little bit. And we'll put one here. And I need an underground. And we'll go across here like that. And now I just need to connect these up here and give them power. And I should be doubling my capacity here for crushing stone. I didn't quite get this finished. Let's put that there. Okay, so we should be doubling our capacity for topping up mineralized water, not doubling it for capacity overall, because some of it is in fact coming from the waste stream over on the metals processing. But we should have somewhat more, and it may eventually backlog. If it doesn't, the problem that we've got with the fuel is not actually causing a shortfall of fuel. It's just preventing it from building a nice backlog like I want it to. I want it to be backed up. Okay, so that project is done. The next thing is I've been looking at my power. Right now it looks like we're running between 6.5 and 7.5 megawatts. I have seen it peak a little over 8. That can be a little bit of an issue. Well, it just went a little over 8 right there. We don't really have the capacity to go much beyond that right now because I haven't set up the generators for it. I did go and build another boiler and 2 more steam engines. Let's hook those up so that we'll have more power available. And stick that there, and there, and there. And we will extend that. I do have inserters, so we'll put an inserter there. And we should have a little more power capacity now. I may go between episodes and fill this out to a full 5 boilers. I don't know that I expect to run that many just really soon at full power, but I do want to have the capability, and at this point we can produce a lot more fuel than we're actually using. So that'll be only a good thing. Next, one of the things I researched in the last episode was Factorissimo. And so what I want to do is I want to sort of move this facility into a Factorissimo building so that I can sort of pack it down a little bit and have it in a nice, neat package, and I can sort of expand it in the future by rearranging the contents of the building without actually taking up any more space outside the building. So let's see if I have the materials. I don't. Let's see. I need stone and iron plates. I have both of those. Stone is right here. Let me get a bunch of those. I've got slag in my inventory. Let me find a place to get rid of that. That could be a problem. I know where I can put it. I'll put it in the output of one of these electrolyzers, so it will go on the line. There we go. Those make an awful noise. Okay, and I needed iron plates, so let's get a bunch of those. Actually get them out of my box and into my inventory. Okay. Let's make a factory building, and when that finishes, we'll take a look at what it can do. I'm going to do a similar thing with washing in just a little bit, so I'm going to have to make another building. Let's see what we're short here on making that. We need more stone. So I'm going to go ahead and tell it to make a second building. I don't know if we'll get that this episode, but we might. It depends on how long I have to tinker with the sulfur system. Still don't have quite enough stone. I didn't, 2 stacks of it was not sufficient. Get another 2 stacks. Now it is more than sufficient. But we couldn't make another one. It takes 500 stone to make one of these, as well as 100 copper plates and 500 iron plates. It's a lot of resources to make one of these buildings, but they are pretty nice to have. So we built the first one. We can pick them up and move them even with stuff inside them, so let me just find a convenient place to plop this down to work with it. So here's our building. It's unpowered at the moment. If we walk in, we're just on a concrete floor. The 01 in the middle designates the size of the building. This is the Tier 1 building. It's 30 across. We've got 4 inputs on each side, and we've got the door, and we have some options here. This is the power. We can tell it, this one is inputting power. That's what that arrow means. If we hover over it and hit R, it will say it's outputting power. There are some other controls you can do here. Shift R will increase the max throughput and Control R will decrease it. That's according to the notes over here on the side. We can look at the electric network info. This is for the internal network. We don't have power hooked up to it. Let's go out here and do that. Just put a power pole right next to the building so that the coverage area of the power pole overlaps the building just like any other building. Now we have lighting inside, and we've got power coverage. It's using 20 kilowatts for lights. One of the features of these buildings is that the whole floor is powered. So if I put something in here, this inserter will work without having to go and install power poles. So that's actually kind of a nice feature. It saves a lot of hassle with running power poles, keeps things a little tidy. But that's not what we're here for today. We're going to move this sulfur system. So I think we have to sort of think about where the boundaries of the system are and where the inputs and outputs are. I think I do want to include no, I don't want to include this liquefier because it's taking as input crushed stone, and there's no reason for a sulfur processing facility to have crushed stone as an input by itself. So let's get a blueprint and copy what we need here. We're going to need basically all of that. And now that we've got that, let's take and do, let's make a deconstruction planner and see if we can use the robots to deconstruct this stuff. It's kind of wasteful of materials to do that right now, but I'm going to do it anyway. So we'll just come over here and set that up, and it will move all these things into our inventory. Yeah, there we go. Alright, we'll come in here in the building, and I'll plop the blueprint down. Maybe put it, for now I'll just put it in the middle. We'll have a minimum amount of hassle with getting things in and out and worrying about where things go. Later on, I can rearrange the interior of the building. And I don't really need the power pole. There we go. Just looking at this, we've got to have oxygen coming in, and I know that oxygen comes in on this side over here. And we're going to have water coming in, and I think water comes in on this side over here. And we've got sulfuric wastewater coming in. That's coming in near the bottom over here, so let's have it come in there. And we've got sulfuric acid going out. Now I don't want it going out here because if I do that, these two pipes are going to be adjacent on the outside of it. We'll see where those are in just a minute. I'm going to make the sulfuric acid come out over here. We've also got to have purified water going out. I'll send that out here. Actually, let's make the acid go out here so I can be very consistent and be using the spots nearest the corners. That will make it a little easier to tell what we're going to be dealing with once we're on the outside. And we're dealing with the saline inside here. We're disposing of saline here, so we don't have to do anything special with it. Mineralized water has to go out. That's over here already. So let's go outside and see what we got. I'm going to hit R on the outside of the building to show where all of the inputs and outputs are. Let's put some pipes on each of these. Well, first let's just move the building. We can pick up this whole building with all that stuff inside it already, and it'll go into our inventory, And it's this one actually, not this one. This is the other one we made. Okay. I want to make sure that I don't send it into my inventory and then not know which one it is. Let's pop this one down right here, and we should be able to go inside, and everything is still there. So our next step is going to be to start hooking some of this stuff up. Let's start with sulfuric wastewater. It's right here, and I can go across here and bring my sulfuric wastewater up, just like that. And we'll also hook up our mineralized water, which is right here. And let's come across here like this and go down. So I've hooked up two things. I've hooked up the mineralized water output and the sulfuric wastewater input. Let's go outside and hook up power and take a look at this. So let's come over here and run a power pole. I usually use the corners of the buildings, and the reason is because the corner does not overlap any of these inputs and outputs. So those were here and here. And if we go back inside the building, we can now see these little diamonds here that indicate where they were. The diamond indicates a two-directional transfer. It should be a little more efficient to make sure if we know something is output only or input only, to go ahead and make the direction. So let's hit R to change the direction. It says we're inputting. This is actually the mineral water. It's an output, so we're going to hit R again. It's output. The wastewater is an input, though. We're going to put it right there. Now we need to output our acid. Acid is coming out of this chemical plant here, and before it was in this position, but it's not going to be there anymore. We're going to output acid over here. So let's run a pipe over to the edge and then up to there. That's going to be our acid output. We're also going to have a purified waste or a purified water output. It's not wastewater. You might recall that some of our purified water is used inside this building for making sulfuric acid, but the machines that are outside the building also used it as part of the sludge processing. So let's come over here and we can tap that right here, and we'll run up to there and put that in like that. Now I'm not sure what this is. I don't know what that is at all. It may have, oh, it was the original line for the sulfuric wastewater. We don't need that. We did need that. I shouldn't have killed that. Let's put that back. That's our purified water. There we go. I always twirl those too many times. I'm sure many of you have noticed it if you've been watching closely. This line is what I think was our sulfuric wastewater that we don't want. And we can move this now. We can go ahead and put that there, and we'll put the clarifier in a slightly better position. All of this is potentially movable inside this building and will be at some point to make some space. So we've got our sulfur box here. And let's see, purified water goes in there and through all that stuff. Mineralized comes out. We've got to have normal water coming in over here. Just regular seawater. So we'll hook that up there. So I've got stuff on the top on both corners and on both corners on this side, and that's all I've added. So we'll go outside and hook up there, there. Go back in and we can see where these things are. The purified water is an output. The it's actually, wait a minute. This is the sulfuric acid. It is an output. This is the purified water. It's an output. And this is seawater, and it's an input. Okay, let's go back out and start hooking these things up, and hopefully we get it all right. So sulfuric wastewater should be coming in right here. And the actual location of it coming through here is where? This is the pipe for it. So we're going to have to extend that a little bit. And be very careful not to do the wrong thing here. You know, I think it would be more convenient if we swap these. Let's do that. Let's go inside the building and change these around. I want purified water coming out the bottom. This one down here is actually acid at the moment. No. Acid can still come out here, but I want to swap the purified water and the sulfuric wastewater positions. So right now I'm sending purified water out the top. I want to send purified water out this way. Right there. Sulfuric wastewater is coming in here in the very bottom. Is that right? That seems wrong. I may just have to deal with these one at a time. Let's do that. Let's deal with these problems one at a time so that I don't have as much of a thing going on with them and I won't get them mixed up. I'm really leery of getting them mixed up. Sulfuric acid needs to come in the bottom over here, or go out the bottom. So we'll put that there, and we'll go ahead and get this connected there. Just like that. It would be nice if we had some sulfuric acid being produced so that we could do that. We're going to need oxygen, and oxygen is something I have not allowed for. So our mineralized water is actually going to have to go out somewhere else. Let's get oxygen in here. And I'll just mark this in a place where I can remember it. This process has more inputs and outputs than most things will. That's just kind of how it is. We'll go down from here and like that. So let's get some oxygen in here. Oxygen comes off of this bus, and since I'm moving it, I'll go ahead and move it all together. So I won't need this line through here for oxygen at all. And we'll hook up there, there, and send it the rest of the way down. So we should have oxygen coming in the building now. And we do. And it will be going up into the sulfur dioxide plant. So we've got sulfur dioxide in our sulfuric acid. We don't have purified water in the building yet. To get that, let's go ahead and do the next step. We'll get our fresh water in from the top. So fresh water goes in right here. And there's a pump up there that's delivering it. and we'll move the pump to make sure everything is reasonably lined up. The building can be moved. I'm probably not going to. I'm going to leave the building in about the spot where it is. It could be adjusted, but if I leave it here when I upgrade the building, then I will be able to just leave it there. It's going to be a long time before it gets upgraded, though. That's not really pressing, but I would like to leave space for upgrading it some point in the future if I need to. Now, there's a little bit of an issue because I've got that going on there. That may get moved at some point. We'll just have to see. Alright, so we should have water going all the way down into the plant now. And we do, and we are producing purified water. Purified water is coming in here, so I've got sulfuric acid ready to go. I've got purified water coming out over here. This is not actually where I want it, I don't think. Let's worry about the acid first. Acid needs to go out. I've got it hooked up over here. That is probably the spot I want it. Yes, because acid is way down here, kind of low. And I sure don't want that, because it will intersect this pipe. So let's put it here. I don't need that one. Okay, we should have fresh acid coming in here now. It only says 30. It looks like it should be okay. How much does this recipe call for? 15, so 30 is double the amount, so that is the correct amount. Looks like we finished all of our research so far. Let's pick a new one. How about, yeah, let's pick one of the ones that involves some green. I've got the machines loaded up with green research. We need to pick something that leads to coal processing, or coal processing 2. So let's go for gas and oil extraction. There we go. Okay, purified water. That is going to need to be here. And actually it says it's already there. Alright, so yeah, I think we got that going through there now. Right? And sulfuric wastewater is the last one. Sulfuric wastewater is going to have to go all the way down here, so it's kind of a long run, and I want to make sure that I don't intersect anything that's going to cause me a problem. It looks like I'm okay if I come through here like this. And so that should get me my sulfuric wastewater in. There's none because this will need to come in from outside. Is it hooked up out there? It isn't. And sulfuric wastewater is generated here. So let's run that pipe there, and just around the corner. Alright, so I think everything should be working now again. Most of the system is pretty backed up. I think I'm going to go ahead and tell it to make more copper. Let's just let it fill the copper chest. But we should have everything working in here now. It should be running continuously. It's a little hard to tell, but yeah, because it's not all that active. The whole interior of this there's a lot of space here to move stuff around and pack it. So that can all be done without having to rearrange anything on the outside necessarily. It might be that changing some of the inputs would be desirable for a new arrangement. Just have to see. I don't think it's going to be any big deal. Oh, I bet I don't have my mineralized water going out. Let's take care of that because it will stop at some point without that. Let's send mineralized water up to this corner, and we'll go out of underground pipes. Oh, and these take forever to craft because it's got to do all of these subcombines on these things. One of these days I need to get that automated. It's probably not going to be a priority anytime soon. There are too many other things that need to be automated, and I don't have any robots to deliver them to me. So we got that one and there. Now we can get rid of our mineralized water on the outside. There's no pipe connected outside because I don't have an arrow. It'll go there. So this is an output, and need to go back out here and get this on the fluid bus. It's going to go, let's see, we'll get rid of that and put it there, and it'll go in there. And for now, I can just do that, but I'll probably pick up some of these pipes at some point. And lastly, right there. Now I don't need this one. I don't know where that was leading. It was leading somewhere, but I don't know where it was. I do want to do the brick production in one of these buildings as well. I've already got the building made for it, but I think we're probably a little short on time for that. Let me just talk a little bit about what I'm going to do between episodes. I'm going to do some more research, trying to get towards coal processing too. So we're going to be looking at gas and oil extraction. Then we are going to be looking at oil processing and gas processing. And then we're going to go for Advanced Chemistry 1, and we're going to go for Coal Processing 2. And I'm going to go through that whole branch probably between episodes. We'll see how far I get, and I'll report back. Other than that, I think we've got quite a bit of stuff done, just a few details to get out of the way, and we'll be ready to move on to some new and interesting things pretty soon. Our big agenda after coal processing, we're going to have to redo some of our fuel line here to convert over to the new fuel type, and then probably we're going to start looking a little closer at metallurgy so that we can start getting some more of these metals and sort of getting them going a little better. In between episodes, I am going to go ahead and add another one of these. I meant to do it before the last episode, but I just really didn't have time, and I was working on some other things here. But I'm going to get that done, and we'll start having to look at ore sorting and metallurgy pretty soon. So anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.